Protect your online privacy today at expressvpn.com/inside.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Monday. Yay. The weekend's over. Back to the grind, you drones. Hey. It's time to talk about the PlayStation 5, which might be here sooner rather than later.
Ooh.
Oh. Patrick with the story.
That's right, Connor. We're getting some leaks that the pre-orders for the next-gen console might be coming soon. And where there's pre-order smoke, there's console fire.
This just in. Someone on 4chan tweeted that it's coming tomorrow.
Autumn with the weather.
This is a fun goof because we're picking up from each other's segues immediately instead of going... That's right, the PlayStation 5 is almost here.
But yeah, this all started last week when the PS5's page went up on Amazon, its info page. No pre-order option, just some lovely graphics, some stuff you already know about the PS5, a pretty shot of the DualSense controller. That got the internet rumor mill going though, and Sony clearly noticed that something was going on.
Oh my god, I already forgot that the PS5 looks the way that it looks. I was still imagining the toilet bowl PS5 for some reason. Anyway, that all got the internet rumor mill going, and Sony clearly noticed. Veteran gaming personality Jeff Keighley showed off the PS5's fancy DualSense controller in a live stream where he also talked to Sony's worldwide head of marketing, Eric Lempel.
Ew. I was thinking Lempel, maybe to give him the benefit of the doubt. No.
Nah, I went hard into that.
You know he got some from that when he was a kid, and he's like, I'll show you, one day I'll be worldwide head of marketing.
And now he's still getting for it.
He said they had no idea why the Amazon page went up, telling Keighley, we don't know what happened there. We had nothing to do with it. I got a message from someone saying people are lining up at stores and we had no idea why. I don't know if that's how he said it. That's how I read it.
People were not lining up at stores.
What?
Come on.
In the middle of a pandemic too. What are you talking about, dude?
I mean, I don't know if that would stop people.
I gotta get to Nordstrom's.
Yeah, but he tried to tamp down the speculation about pre-orders coming soon, saying, I think it's safe to say, we'll let you know when pre-order will happen. It's not gonna happen with a minute's notice. We're going to, at some point, let you know when you can pre-order a PlayStation 5. So please, don't feel like you have to go run out and line up anywhere until you receive an official notice on how that would work. Yeah, we'll tell you when to get COVID.
He is a Lempel, I guess.
Yeah, this is a full-on Lempel.
Got big Lempel energy.
Well, it's too late, Lempel. I'm typing this for my tent outside of Best Buy. How does that feel?
So that's end of the speculation, right? No, because internet detectives then stumbled on a new nugget of info, which also pointed to pre-orders possibly coming soon. It was yesterday on Reset Era, a poster named XP dug into the source code of the PlayStation Direct shop, that is, which they said has been updated with references to PS5 pre-orders.
Specifically, they found an error message for when people try to add more than one PS5 to their cart, meaning you'll be limited to just one console. Wait, how am I supposed to hoard them and resell them on eBay?
But that's not all. XP also found that Sony added a new badge to the system that can be displayed alongside products that are PS5 compatible. Basically, that's a little graphic by a product or a game that lets you know that it works with the new console. Those badges are currently hidden, XP said, but they speculated that for this code to have been committed into the production branch, then it seems like pre-orders are really close.
But yeah, this all makes sense. I mean, you wouldn't add that stuff in unless you're about to start taking pre-orders. I mean, at least we can speculate that. But I was thinking about this. If Sony is going to open up pre-orders soon, that could also mean we'll get a price announcement soon. You're not going to pre-order something that says price TBD. Well, just kidding. Somebody definitely will.
A price announcement would be significant though, because Sony and Microsoft have been playing a game of chicken when it comes to how much the PS5 and the Xbox Series X will cost. There's even been speculation out there that Microsoft is just waiting for Sony to announce the price of its console first so that it can follow up and undercut them.
So what you're saying is they're kind of like daring each other first.
Yeah, you could say that.
We gotta keep reading. Analyst Michael Pachter theorized that if the PS5 was $500, then Microsoft could cut the Xbox Series X's price by as much as $100, which would be pretty significant.
This could also be a move by Sony to release the PS5 a bit early to get it into gamers' hands and to get them talking about it online to generate positive word of mouth.
I kind of dug through some past news articles, and hear me out, because I feel like that could make sense because Sony is increasing production of the PS5 pretty significantly. Bloomberg recently reported that Sony has doubled production of the console with the goal of making 10 million units before the end of this year. That's huge because previously they were just going to make 5 to 6 million PS5 by the end of March of 2021. So they're like ramping up the machinery a lot.
Yeah, Sony executives think that there will continue to be a high demand for video games thanks to the pandemic, which has resulted in lots of quarantines around the world, especially with a second wave being a distinct possibility. It makes sense. There was a huge Switch shortage. But you know what else is a distinct possibility? You enjoying a subscription to Bespoke Post.
It's an ad read, lol.
Guys, if your mailbox is anything like mine, 90% of the time, it's fairly depressing. Political flyers, utility bills, unholy amounts of coupons, that crappy free weekly. But once a month, I do have a reason to be stoked, and that's because of my box of awesome from Bespoke Post. Bespoke Post, it sends guys only the best stuff every month. And no matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From style and grooming goods to barware, cooking tools, outdoor gear, Box of Awesome has carefully built collections for every part of your life. The cooking tools, super helpful. Barware, like I actually made a real martini, like with a shaker and everything. Kind of felt like James Bond a little bit, but I felt classy, you know what I mean? I wasn't just like pouring it right out of the liquor bottle like a savage. Here's the deal. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. Your answers are gonna help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. It's free to sign up. You can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box costs only $45, but has over $70 worth of gear inside. Can't beat that value. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com. Enter code INSIDE at checkout, boxofawesome.com. Enter code INSIDE for 20% off your first box.
Thank you, Bespoke Post.
Bloomberg said that Sony began PS5 mass production in June and, under the latest plan, expects to assemble 5 million units by the end of September, with another 5 million between October and December.
Yeah, so in less than 2.5 months, Sony is expecting to have 5 million PS5s ready to sell. It would make sense that they're starting pre-orders sooner rather than later. Both Sony and Microsoft have previously said that their consoles will launch this holiday season, but considering that these consoles are direct competitors, it makes sense that Sony might try to jump the gun if they can.
Most consoles tend to launch in the month of November, but with everyone stuck at home and playing more video games than ever, the importance of this holiday shopping season might be a lot lower in 2020. I'm terrified for what Black Friday is going to look like this year.
Yeah, plus there's a big benefit of being first. Your console is going to trend on social media. People will post screenshots of your games, and then you will overshadow your competitors.
That might be Sony's strategy, and if they have a big name game to release with the PS5, like Spider-Man Miles Morales, for example, that might be enough to move some consoles. It is expected to release this holiday season, probably a launch game. Maybe Sony's leaning on Insomniac to finish it a little bit early. Just, yeah, maybe a month early. Just asking questions.
Yeah, it definitely helps to have a big name game to launch a console with, even if it is just one game. The Switch was basically a Breath of the Wild machine in its early days, but that didn't keep it from being a bestseller. Also, to be fair, Breath of the Wild, an enormous game. Not sure how big this Miles Morales thing is gonna be, but it's still, we'll have the hype behind it, but yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be quite the same.
Now, of course, this could all be internet rumor, simple conjecture, but there does seem to be a little smoke to it. And even if the PS5 does launch in November, that's now only 4 months away, so you'd expect pre-orders to open up within the next few months. It could also be a way for Sony to gauge interest in the new console. If they open up pre-orders and immediately sell out, they'll know they were right to boost production.
And this is another sort of guess on my part, but maybe they could adjust the PS5 production numbers based on those pre-orders, because another random story I found, it was reported that Sony has an automated factory near Tokyo that can churn out a PS4 in 30 seconds. It's done by articulated robots, and the Nikkei Asian Review called it PlayStation's secret weapon.
Alana was telling us about that, and she thought it was a dream because she couldn't find it when she looked it up. Maybe it can't build PS5s at this point, but at some point in the future, you've got to assume that's what they'll convert it to producing.
It keeps making PS4s! We can't sell them fast enough!
The robots say they're retro gamers! No!
The hand reaching above a bunch of consoles like, no!
That's going to be the catalyst to World War III. Bloomberg reported that currently a large proportion of Sony's consoles are made in China and then shipped out via sea to the rest of the world, so maybe the robot factory in Japan is just a prototype at this point. And that's what we know about the PS5's release date at this point. Nothing firm, but it could be sooner than you think. I know. I said the word firm. I almost made a penis joke, and then I did not.
Unbelievable.
So
Proud
we're
of you.
doing good today.
Meanwhile, when it comes to games, its marketing boss, Eric Lempel, also made some comments about a hot topic, studded belts. No, backwards compatibility. Microsoft has made backwards compatibility a huge priority with the Xbox One and now the Xbox Series X, but Lempel said not to expect Sony to take every game along for the next gen.
Specifically, he said, a big pillar of our company is innovation. It's a pillar of Sony Corporation, and it's also a pillar of the PlayStation Company. We are always trying to push the boundaries of play. We want to excite gamers and deliver new experiences. In many cases, we can't take everyone with us from previous consoles, because you need new hardware and devices.
Specifically, he pointed out upcoming PS5 games like Ratchet & Clank, Rift Apart, which he said wouldn't be possible to play on current PS4s because it's just so damn... I don't know. Insert word here.
Damn.
Yesterday, Sony had their big unveiling of not just a bunch of games for the PS5. We also got a look at the console itself. It was definitely a bold choice. Don't see a lot of consoles with fins anymore. You know, that might have been video games back in the 50s, but we've advanced. The design drew praise from some. I liked it.